Good day, it's Kathleen Acker. If you have not liked and shared, I would greatly appreciate if you would do so. It helps with the algorithm, and I would love for my message to get out to others so that it can help them. So if you find some value in this, please do so. I would like to share today what I filed in my court filing. I'm just doing it in segments. And so the birth certificate, which some of us have become mindfully aware of, while others have not, we know, I think that before I ever really knew as much as I do now, I always was like suspicious and thinking something wasn't right, but I didn't know exactly what. Then I did one deep dive after another, and it continued for years. So I have now researched it and I'm back to the 1300s, which is, obsessive. I have an obsessive compulsive learning problem right now. Anyway, it's just fun. And since I was in court, I do like to share because I'm hoping this will help to expand consciousness as I do teach it, but it's fun to share this stuff, I think. And so, without further ado, this is in my court filing as it's not just November 27th of 2024. This is filed in October 18th of 2023 in an affidavit. It's filed in November. It's filed in December 23. It's filed in January, February, May. Um, Also, so it's filed numerous times. What you are seeing right here, the state, my state that I live in is Illinois. So this is the Illinois 410 Illinois Constitution 535:12. So the state, this is what I say because up here I have that I, Kathleen, declare and claim, proclaim, define sole property of my sons and I, as I am living and made possible through the grace of God. This is all because of research that I have done, thorough research of what I have done. And so I'm not a human creature that the Vatican controls. I am judged by no man or woman. I am not judged because I take a superior standing as a living soul. The state is trying to claim the birth when you register your son or daughter and you call them a child and you're a pair that rents a parent from the state is because the state owns a piece of paper called the birth certificate and you don't know that you're not the product and that your kids are not the product, the afterbirth. So there's the afterbirth, that's what created the product. So the mom has the umbilical cord cut and they're like, hey, you're going to take home this living breathing little baby and we're going to ask if your trash, your discard, your salvage, if we can have that. And the mom says, sure, I'm going to grant that to you. That created a grant tour of the mother called an informant, So the mom says, yeah, sure, take this. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And boy, was that a treasure for our government, dating back to 1933 when the birth certificate came into real effect and when a nation of the land of the placenta was created and they became a product. So that created land, it created a nation of holy ground. I go into this more in my course and into my private groups. This is just an overview of what I teach. So in my filing, I have, as you can see, a state has a no interest contract. It's unconscionable. It's unthinkable, really, to me. But it's fraud. And fraud is void at conception. When the intention to enter into a contract is fraud, then that is null and void. And it goes all the way back. Now, people will say, well, I can just claim it. That's not enough because we are to repent, to correct our errors, and to repent. And I got to tell you, it's a be you to the fullest, beautiful experience as you clean up the contracts of your birth certificate. And so in here, I say God's law is superior law over the following. I say this because I go back to the 1300s. I go back to canon law and to, all the way, there's some references to 1666 where England like tries to capture our souls. There's a document called The Right of Mankind. And in there's a big debate about nobles claiming the souls and making us all servants and cattle. It was done back in by the Vatican, and then it was done by England, and then it was done by the US. Sorry if that is a shocker for anyone, but if you're listening to this video, probably you're aware of most, if not all, of that. So in 410, so let me just say the live birth. So you always want to look at the definitions when you're entering into a contract. So individual, person, citizen, all entities, deadless, soulless, okay, because that's the only thing that the government can control. So therefore, the government needed us to be something that they can control. So they created a product from the live birth. That's a product. So the mother grants it, they're like, oh, look at baby boo boo. And then they're like, hey, we're going to take it one step further. We're going to take the footprint of the baby, the soul print. Don't worry how it's spelled. The soul print. We're going to capture that soul. We're going to prick the little baby's foot, and we're going to match the DNA of that blood to that of the placenta, and we're going to capture the soul that way. Okay, it's all like such deception, you know. But now we're unraveling that deception, and it will happen faster because we're reverse engineering. That's what we're doing, and this is what I'm helping to do. This is in a court filing in Madison County, Illinois. Case number is down below, by the way. So live birth. So just the definition of live birth is in every U.S. state constitution. It came from the WHO in 1950. It was updated in 1988. I'm not showing you that. If you want to check me, go for it. I appreciate that. It's been a while since I've done that. I just memorized it. So live birth is the definition. If you want to read this, you can. I think it's disgusting and grotesque. So I do a summary. It's a product extracted from the mother, which is true because the afterbirth came from the mother. And so it's grotesque to think that. But so God knew us before conception, and I quote that. There's several verses in which I quote that God knew us before conception. And so a hidden intention is bad and disfavored in law. Then on record, I just, because it's here, I do recognize that you said argue. I don't argue. I constantly said in court that I don't argue. They only have jurisdiction if it's a controversy, and there's 7 laws. We can go into that on another video. They must have controversy. So I repeatedly say, I'm not arguing, I'm not arguing. Yeah, you keep saying argue. I'm not arguing. I am present, not living in the past, not living in the future. I am here and now, residing in my body, living. So I don't know. Hopefully that helps somebody know that you can look it up in your state constitution under live birth. I have it for South Carolina pulled up. I have it for Illinois. I have not pulled up it. I pulled up a couple others. But anyway, let me know what you find and like and share. Remember, this is just a game that we are playing. Life is a game. I wrote the book, The Game of Life. And it just helps you to know the rules so that you can play it more effectively and level up in your consciousness. So roll the dice, play the game of life, and have a good time doing it. Till next time.